Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Chimmel, the GOAT of ring announcers. And you're listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.
Thank you, Tony. At least one old member of WWE who can actually be reliable. Oh, hey, Gerard.
I see. Okay, I see.
Welcome. It is Sunday night. You know what that means. It is time for the Marks Podcast. I am Dan. Joined with me, as always, is the inside man, Gerard Millette. I feel like it's been weeks, but it's only been a week since we've talked. And a lot of stuff. Well, Jacob's on assignment watching somebody. We love you, Jacob.
Yeah. He's with the dogs.
He is with the dogs.
Maybe he's in the doghouse.
And the week is upon us, Gerard. Your city's favorite son, the pride and joy of West Newbury, Mass, is having his final match.
Before I get into that,
Okay.
I was rather disturbed about a couple hours ago. I was reading a certain newspaper, and some idiotic reporter, who I shall remain nameless on.
Oh, come on. You know this show. We don't fucking hold back. Don't play that.
Belittled ESPN for showing a certain woman during a college football game because she was getting ready for Survivor Series. And
hold on. You're over my head here. Who are they belittling?
Nikki Bella.
Oh,
Because they said ESPN had the gall to show the sex part known as Nikki Bella.
She hasn't been a sex pot for a very long time, but go on.
And I actually happened to send that reporter a nice little email.
Of course you did.
Because I said, first of all, this woman probably want to give you the time of day. But
reporter. Did we talked about this reporter before?
Oh yeah.
Which one is it?
I think he has. Oh, I know. He's the one who's been going back all the way to 1992.
There's a lot that go back to 1992. One had a
mullet. Broke a certain story about a certain ring boy.
Hi, Gerard.
And, he has a hair upon his ass for Vince McMahon ever since.
Is it Meltzer?
No. Right?
Mushnick?
Right. Huh?
Mushnick?
Yeah, Mushnick.
I don't dislike him as much as I dislike some of the other ones, but yeah.
Oh, no, but for him to, my biggest thing about that is like this. She's a mom now.
Okay.
And
she's also a fucking public figure.
She's a public figure. But, and my thing is this. You want to attack her wrestling abilities?
Yeah, they suck.
Go ahead. Attack her wrestling abilities all day. You know what? In performers, that's, actors, actresses, all that stuff. Go ahead. Attack them for doing what they do for their job.
Yeah.
But when you attack somebody in a personal way, for the way they do their, because of how they think they portray themselves.
Well, how old is Nikki?
I'm going to say close to 40.
Okay. Oh, she'll look it up first to make sure.
My thing about it is this.
42. She's 42 years old, right? She's a mom, right?
Yeah, she's 40. She's a mom.
Okay.
When you start attacking somebody who's no longer this way, but now is a mom, that to me,
okay. So here's the thing: is she's
hold
on. So if I, Dan, member of the Marks Podcast, walk around in a police officer's uniform, I'm not a cop, but I walk around in a cop's uniform, and someone comes up to me and says, "Oh, officer, this guy just robbed me. I need your help." And I say, "Hey. Just because I'm wearing this uniform doesn't make me a police officer." Right? Makes sense? Okay. So if I am Nikki Bella at 42, and you and Jacob are very about this stuff, but I'm just going to put this out there. If I'm a mom at 42 years old and I don't want men calling me a sex pot or anything like that, I'm not going to come on national TV in front of fucking 40,000 people, bust my tits out, and say, I'm fearless.
My thing about it is this, okay? If you're saying it as a fan, it's one thing. But to put it in print, knocking somebody.
We do that on a podcast every fucking Sunday.
We don't victim. We don't. Whoa, hold on. Like I said, we might attack somebody's wrestling ability.
Well, we literally sat there where we made fun of Nia Jax's fucking singlet.
No. What I'm saying is, that's one thing. But we're not denouncing her
look, say
as a woman.
Want, we're assholes on this podcast. We say horrible fucking shit.
Hey, but I'm saying is, but that's
just what it is.
To start denouncing women, that's a fine line.
Her. I think she was a horrible wrestler. That's what
I'm saying. You can listen. Okay. We don't know what kind of person she is.
I also don't think. I don't give a shit what kind of person she is. I know that she's supposed to be a mom, right? Nikki's supposed to be a fucking mom. Right. She's supposed to. She wants to live this wholesome fucking lifestyle and blah blah blah. And I'm this. Okay, then stop popping your whole gimmick about walking out is busting your tits out of a fucking t-shirt.
You know, I gotta say, I expected more of you than to defend Phil Mushnick.
I hate that you have to bring it up that I have to defend Phil Mushnick, but she comes out there busting her tits. What's going on? It's been a while.
Why did Nikki get rehired in the first place?
I don't know.
We all know why. It's because of publicity with her shows and stuff like that. You know, listen.
When's the last time she was on a fucking show?
Last week.
No, I'm talking about actual like she's not. Total Divas is over. Total Bellas is done. I mean, what does she bring? What real value does she bring other than notoriety for a bunch of guys your age who are like, oh my God, it's Nikki Bella. She's gonna bust them out again. Look, this is my issue with Nikki Bella.
Listen, this ain't the Playboy era anymore.
Hold on, this is Nikki Bella goes out there and wants to be treated a certain way. Yet her fucking finisher is called the Rack Attack 2.0. It's a move based off her fucking tits. Or fucking like as fucking Jim Cornette would have said, right? Her pneumatic fucking tits. Yeah, and her whole thing is so she can shake her ass, go out there and wear fucking skippy ass pants at 42 years old. I'm sorry. At some point, we got to call it like it is.
It was almost in a way, I'm like, oh, I was almost glad because I got mad about the thing because that's going to lead me to my next thing. Okay. To the next story I heard this week. And this is a scenario that I hope doesn't happen. TKO sells out WWE to Saudi Arabia, who Saudi Arabia then turns around and names as their CEO, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who then in turn turns the company over to John Cena.
Livland's right. They've already sold to Saudi.
I'm saying as though the Saudi Arabian government takes control of TKO, who hire Vince McMahon back, who Vince turns around and names John Cena as CEO.
John Cena?
Puts him where Triple H is. And I'm hearing this thing, and I'm hearing it this week, and I'm like saying,
first off, always got a speculation on that. Right. I don't think that's a real fucking thing. I love you, but you're fucking. You have
no. I'm saying when I'm hearing this week, and I'm like,
who are you hearing it from? Floyd, who cut your hair every week?
I'm actually, if you actually pay attention, sometimes it actually came out of the mouth of Jonathan Coachman.
Oh God, really?
So
really?
But I'm just saying,
I'm missing you right now. Really?
Could you imagine if that was to happen?
It's not going to happen.
I'm just saying.
You said the name Jonathan Coachman.
Well,
that was a story back in June.
All I say about that is this:
that is full of crap.
With what we just saw, with what happened Thursday.
Oh no! So he's listening to your buddy Vince Russo.
Hey, with what just happened Thursday. With Netflix buying.
Well, yeah, but so basically, okay. So now you're saying that WWE and AEW are going to be under the same umbrella.
God help us.
They are, because they just bought Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah, God help us.
So Netflix now has a stake in WWE, and they have a stake in AEW.
Like I said, God help us, because where does that go now? It's like, do you want to kind of program yourself?
Well, supposedly WWE has exclusivity rights with Netflix that they can't stream another wrestling company. So I don't know how that's going to work.
It's going to work because they're still going to have the Warner Brothers or the HBO Max.
You might because here's my question. HBO Max is part of this WBD. Okay. Mm-hmm. Netflix will be buying that streaming service. It's going to merge with Netflix.
Exactly.
The only two parts of it that are not part of the deal is CNN and another one. But here's the thing. The cable company's still going to want to, they still have to. Now, the only thing going right now for AEW is they're into a deal.
So basically, if they so they don't get the HBO Max exposure anymore, but they're still getting paid no matter what.
Right. However long that TV deal is with TNT, they're going to get that money, however long it is. But it could end up being like WCW, where they could have stayed as a company, but they would have had no television to put the company on. Now, I would say it like this.
Look, they can say that, but no, hold on. But they're getting more views. They're the second most viewed wrestling program on cable TV right now. And you're going to tell me that no one's going to want to pick that up?
NXT is the second.
I'm talking about WWE compared to AEW.
What I'm saying is right now is, so let's just say they have 3 more years left on their WB deal. They're going to get their money no matter what. They're going to get the money. But at the end of that 3 years, are they going to become like WCW? Because they might not have TBS. They might not have TNT. Where are they going to go if Netflix decides to bring down? Because they could merge all of HBO Max into Netflix.
They could.
Now, the one thing I agree on this is the Writers Guild and the union part of it. So Warner Brothers has a lot of unionized business, where Netflix has nothing unionized. I'm hoping that the unionized part of it keeps the WBD part separate from Netflix. If they can run it as one company but 2 separate entities, that's happy. That's good. I mean, how he just put that's where I can see the Saudi Arabian government stepping in to taking over, because we all know they got the money. And,
that is your buddy Venturosa right there. In June.
And I'm saying is, so with what happened with this Netflix and WBD, it could only be a matter of time. So we're going to celebrate the 1-year anniversary in a month. 4 years down the road, Netflix decides they want to cancel. Who jumps in to buy it? Because think about it. You can start a streaming channel. They can go right back and recreate the WWE network. They can go right back and put it right back online again. If nobody wants to put it on their channel. And then they could lose USA and then to go right back to a network. Okay, here you go. The only way you're going to see that content is coming on TV and watch it. You might still get the same attendance figures. Problem is right now, and you guys might both agree on this, they are such a money, they are whoring out so much right now for money. Where does that money trail go? That's the problem right now.
TKO is the one that was hemorrhaging money. WWE was not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The UFC has priced itself out. I mean, you still get attendance, but the core fan base is not going to be buying pay-per-views anymore like it used to. Hence the reason they're on what Paramount now, and they're on Paramount fucking yeah, I believe it was Paramount.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on Paramount now, and they're
Paramount
giving
Plus,
away
yeah.
they're giving away free fucking UFCs.
Well, would you say right now the UFC has done to itself what Don King did to professional boxing?
It's getting there. Now that you got all the fucking scandals about fucking cheating and stuff.
You know, and in professional sports, when it's supposed to be on the up and up, and when you see all these NBA players coming out getting accused of fixing games, Major League Baseball players getting accused of fixing games. Wasn't there a guy who was expelled from the league? Couldn't get into the Hall of Fame for doing that kind of stuff? Now, everywhere you look, everything is sponsored by what? Gambling sites.
Because everybody wants that instant gratification of a quick win.
Listen, how you know what sad is? The one sport where people say, "Hey, we know it's fixed," seems like it's the only one on the up and up.
But it's not. They're full of shit there too.
Well, but you know it though. But you know they're full of shit.
No, they're full of shit, and they try to make you feel like there's still this mom and pop business. But you and I have watched this enough to know that WWE is on a fucking downward spiral. It's getting worse and worse. It goes us watching SummerSlam. I'm not sorry, Survivor Series. That was one of, if not the worst fucking pay. There were 4 fucking matches, Gerard.
Next Saturday night is shaping up to be better than last Sunday.
Saturday. If we don't get all the commercials.
Oh, God damn. Oh, well, and you know, the other thing is, too, that is right. SmackDown's going back to 3 hours come January 2nd. So you're going to go back to 3 hours when your 2-hour show right now is a drag? It's one of those things to where something has to change dramatically to bring the fan base. And listen, it's not just for WWE, AEW, TNA, MLW, all these other ones. The wrestling business as a whole right now. To me, it's rinse, wash, repeat.
I don't believe so. I'm sorry. Watching that last AEW pay-per-view has made me a fucking believer.
What I'm saying is, though, it's rinse, wash, repeat, but the simple fact, what's new out there right now?
What's new is you have a company in AEW who's actually caring about their fans and want them to see their fucking product. They've gone through Amazon Prime. They've gone through fucking Xbox and PlayStation. They're doing everything they can. YouTube, everything they can to get people to get eyes on their product, where you have a company like WWE who's run by TKO. Nope, you can only get it on ESPN. And on ESPN, you're going to pay $40 for the baseline, and then you're going to pay another $50 for each pay-per-view.
Well, the good part is next Saturday night is on Peacock. How much longer is Peacock going to put up with the crap, though?
What you got?
I wanted to ask you guys a question, because talking about how they're not taking care of the fans. So John Cena was on Joe Rogan this week, and he said that originally he wanted to do a 220-date tour for his retirement. He said he would block off a full year of commitments, and then he would travel by bus basically and work the full WWE calendar, and they only needed him for 36. So he didn't get to go out on his terms, like he said. He didn't get to do what he wanted to do.
How long have we been talking about killing house shows? Listen, let's just say you double. Let's just say from 220, you go to 60. Let's say you go 60, okay?
And that would have been better than the garbage we've gotten here, because we got a fucking stop and start fucking heel run where people didn't want to hate John Cena. We got to see what it was like to see him as a heel. It didn't work. So we transitioned over, hit SummerSlam. Excellent.
Does it work if The Rock shows up?
At WrestleMania?
Does it work if The Rock shows up?
Yeah, if he turned on Rock and they had one final match.
No, what I'm saying is, does the heel turn work if Rock stays part of the heel turn?
It doesn't really
It goes
matter.
better. With the fans, it goes over better.
Sure, but it doesn't matter anymore.
But I'm just saying the fact of, could they have turned it from, like I said, instead of 220, let's just say 60, okay? Yeah. But like we've said before, TKO right now is just saying house shows cost them money, which I never understood how something costs money when every one of your performers is under contract, guaranteed money now. It's very easy. You don't need to bring the stage. You don't need to bring the lights. You don't need to bring a sound system. The barricades are at the building. Most of the time, the lights are on the scoreboards in the buildings you're running. All you had to do was bring the ring. You didn't need to bring anything else but a ring. Basically, you could have cheaped down the house shows to just the ring and the wrestlers and forget everything else. Like, back in the day when I was doing it, you would have made a fortune because your only overhead would have been whatever the building charges you, because the ring crew, you already got them under contract, making their salary, whatever they're going to make. And that's it.
See, Leon, and I can see that, but I don't think it's going to happen because like this has been all bullshit aside, right? And as much as as much as WWE has really let me down in the past 365 days, right? Which I was rooting for them. I didn't want to go back to liking AEW as much, but it happened. But all that aside, the one thing I can say is John Cena has gotten the retirement year that every fucking professional wrestler dreams of. He was by far one of the most hated fucking individuals in wrestling. I saw a poll today and they asked, how are you going to remember John Cena? As the GOAT, as just another wrestler, or as the guy that was the beginning of the downfall of wrestling? I saw 75% say that he was the downfall of wrestling. Now,
was it his own fault though?
Oh, absolutely not. He fucking took the money like he was supposed to. He did exactly what his boss said. He did what he was told. But
so if you
hold on, let me finish this statement. But what has happened in this last 365 days for John Cena is he's got to sit there and have those kids, those children that he was in front of 20 years ago become adults. And they get to see that his legitimate C Nation of little teeny kids that are doing this, oh my God, you can't, are now praising him and loving him. He's getting the respect that he deserves after all these years of service he has done and raised these kids. And his tiny C Nation has kids of their own now, and they can tell them of the tales of their childhood and growing up with John Cena. So he's got to go out on his shield and do it the right way.
22 years ago, maybe 23 years ago, watching that young kid in that building in Somerville, Massachusetts, I never cared what kind of wrestler he would become. I cared more about the human being he would become. And I will say this, John Cena, for all intents and purposes, for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I don't believe there will ever be anybody.
I'm not okay. So
let me
reiterate. I'm not knocking that. I think as far as his charitable contributions, amazing human being, amazing. He's up there with one. He's a great person for everything he's done for Make-A-Wish and all that. Being that guy,
he would be comparable to me to when Babe Ruth went to go visit the kid in the hospital and he told the kid he was going to hit a home run. He hit a home run that day. Cena, to me, would almost be considered that because the way he was able to go about doing it, and I praise him due to the fact of not having children of his own. He handled what he did for Make-A-Wish better than most parents handle their own kids in that same situation.
No, again, the argument is not about John Cena's charitable work. He's amazing as far as that. I'm not going to deny.
And then what I'm saying is, to me, that's going to be more of a highlight than what he did in the ring, because what you do in a professional wrestling ring, as we all know, is theater.
I'll be right back. Keep going. I'll be right back.
It's theater. And by being theater, wins, losses, records, and stuff like that, should it really matter? It's like winning Oscars and Academy, Oscars, Academy Awards, Emmys, and all that stuff. It's the same people voting anyway. You vote yourself for these awards. It's all these entertainers voting themselves for awards. It's what you do outside of your profession that puts you above your peers. And to me, like I said, the first thing about him is to make a wish. The second thing about him is what he's done for his family, to where he's cared for his family the whole time he's been in wrestling. And that's what took away from him taking care of his family. He put so much time and effort into his wrestling family and the Make-A-Wish and stuff like that. He wasn't blessed with making a family of his own. And rightfully so, he didn't want it. Because of the time he was going to be away, he couldn't commit and stuff like that. You know, very few professional people make a decision to where I'm going to put my professional work over my personal. And when you can take that and do it, and you can keep that, who are we to say otherwise? Next Saturday night for a lot of fans is probably going to be a hard night. But I think it's a night to be celebrated and not to be sad about. Be happy. Not too many professional athletes nowadays get to call their own shot, get to say, hey, when I retire, John Cena's retirement will go down to me the same way Cal Ripken's retirement was, and the way Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's games played streak. It's something that a lot of us, as fans of sports, don't get to see that often. Cal Ripken's streak will never be broken. John Cena being part of a spotlight for 20 years will probably never be broken. Not in the business he's in. Very few sports entertainers last 20 years at the top of their profession. So, you know, and when I say last at the top of their profession, to where whenever you come back, if you go away, you come back, you're not a mid-carder. You're not the first match of the night. You're at the top of the card every night. And that's John Cena.
And is he really going out the way he wants and calling his shot when they cut his dates in the third?
I'm going to say
if he himself is saying he's not going out the way he wanted, that he's not doing, then they've done him a disservice, right?
Have they done him the disservice personally? But have they done a fans a disservice? To me, when it comes to the fans part of it, I don't think they did a disservice to the fans the past 4 months. They did a disservice to the fans by flipping him and not having an end game with flipping him. That was the disservice. If you get what I mean by that. You can't flip somebody the way they flipped him and then have no ending to it. That book was just left wide open and nobody knew where the story was going.
What do you think their plan was? What do you think in their mind when they flipped him they thought they would do?
It was on Rock.
You think it was all on him?
They thought more was going to happen with the Rock, and then he bailed. He jumped ship. He hit the iceberg. He sunk in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And, you know, if you notice, conveniently, we haven't heard a damn. He used to put out all these Instagrams, all these Facebooks. Where the hell's The Rock been for 10 months? Does he show up next Saturday?
I hope not.
He's going to get booed the hell out of that building. He shows up on Saturday.
Is he though?
He'll get booed out of the
so
building.
nostalgic, and we have such short memories that we'll get caught up in it. Cena's retirement, The Rock is back, and oh my God,
No, and I'm going to tell you why. There might be one other man in that building that The Rock will get booed louder than him.
Repo Man?
Repo Man. Nope. A guy that occupies a little white house.
Yes, I've heard rumors that he might be back for that.
Is that guy who occupies a little white house shows up in that building,
Mm.
and we'll know before Saturday Night's Main Event even goes on the air.
Right.
You know how I will know?
Because you won't be able to get to work.
No. Fans will be saying how tight security is.
Yeah.
People will be saying how tight security is to get into the building. Because, they're going to have to do a security check to make sure nobody has nothing on them and stuff like that just to get in.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we got dogs here. We got security here. Oh, you'll hear people talking about the hour. They'll be, if Washington sends out a message asking fans to get to the building early, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I look at it like this. If he shows up, you're seeing somebody else with him. And guess who that person is you're going to see with him?
Who's that?
Not Vince McMahon.
I was gonna say, you think Linda would show up?
Linda's going to be with Donald Trump.
You think so?
Yeah. Along with Stephanie and Shane.
That would be something.
You see Linda, you see Stephanie and Shane.
Yeah.
But you don't see the old man?
No, you can't, right?
Until 1 minute left in the broadcast, you will hear. No chance. No chance in hell.
If people lost their minds over Brock coming back can you imagine if he actually does the blowback he's going to get?
I don't think he gets blowback for the simple fact. Every smart person, keywords, knows the reason why he's there. He doesn't get a mic. He walks out, hugs John Cena, and walks away. That's it. But they show him walking out, hugging him, and walking away. That's it. Even though he's going to look like Stripe, would I argue with something like that? Absolutely not, because it's the right thing to do. Doesn't mean it's the right. Doesn't mean it forgives anything Vince McMahon is accused of. John Cena himself has said, "This guy is my second dad."
I get that, and I think that there can be some show of something, but I think it needs to be done independently of the show. Vince McMahon can come out and
that's why
I don't know, buy some ad time and do what he wants, or take John to dinner, or do something. But I don't think his presence in that arena.
He doesn't grab a mic.
He doesn't
grab a mic, or you could have what I just described happening off air. So he doesn't.
Off air, I think is fine. I don't think.
So he doesn't even get shown.
Correct. It needs to be independent of the.
Right. If you want to see if you want to see that, because they have a thing called overtime. If you want to see it, you stay on and you watch that, because they don't cut the camera.
Right.
But as part of the regular show, it was not part of the regular show. It's something that happened. We kept the cameras rolling. It happens. But Vince McMahon isn't the only one. The whole locker room empties out following Vince McMahon, though. But Vince is the first one in line. You know who the next one in line after Vince is? John's wife. You know who the next one in line after that is? John's father. Every family member from John after that point.
Right.
And that's the way that people in that building realize, and everybody else watching on TV realize, this has nothing to do with Vince McMahon. This has to do with this guy going out and retiring his way. And
I think putting him on TV is a mistake. I think, like you said, they handled it where it was after hours. Then I think that's something, and he still gets that show of respect, and it's still in, a packed arena, whatever. But I don't think promoting.
No, you don't say nothing about him. I'm just saying to you is, does John Cena need to be acknowledged by Vince? Do I want to see it? No. Does it need to happen? Yes. Keywords there. We don't want to see it, but does it need to be done? Absolutely.
Okay, then he can tweet his congratulations.
I can tweet it.
He can tweet it. I don't need to see him on TV.
Listen, and I will put it like this. And the only reason I say that is like, where would the WWE be if John Cena wasn't able to take that ball and run with it?
I get that, but that has Vince is like if we've moved into a new era, a Vince-free era, bringing him back is a step back.
But it's not bringing him back.
It is to an extent. We're acknowledging that the retirement of John Cena has to be acknowledged by the former CEO who left in disgrace, is under federal investigation, and sold the company that he loved so much. I don't think his presence matters.
And still hasn't been convicted of anything.
I didn't say convicted. I said, but left in disgrace. Oh, your boy's back and he's pissy.
Uh-oh.
You're about to get it.
Oh, well, listen, ain't my fault he had to go to the bathroom. He would have to go to the bathroom and leave me with 15 minutes of open air mic.
See, I thought I could look. I wouldn't be leaving Jacob with open air at 5 or 15 minutes. I thought I could leave you with open air for 15 minutes. But no, hold on. We always come back to this. And you may say that you don't want to see Vince. It does not need to happen. We do not ever need to see Vince McMahon. And why? Because of Vince's own actions. Vince's own actions are what cost him the Hall of Fame. Vince's own actions are what cost him to never be seen on and have any respect on television again. And I'm not saying that he did this stuff because we have to go to court. We have to find out if it actually happened. And if it didn't, great. But there's enough.
No. Well, ho. You just said if it didn't, great. You are one of those people, even if he's not found guilty, in your eyes, he'll always be guilty.
This is the problem I have with Vince. He has been allowed to get away with so much that we know has happened. Nancy Argentina and Jimmy Snuka. Fucking
hey, let's go to Hugh Hefner. Let's go to Hugh Hefner. How much did Hugh Hefner do? Okay.
Hugh Hefner was in the smut fucking industry. All right. He was in the porn industry. Let's just say it like it is. Hugh Hefner was the king of Playboy magazine, right?
So how many? So
hold on. How many? But no. You're going to go there. Hugh Hefner's not noted for fucking the disappearance or covering up the deaths of people. Hugh Hefner has not been called out for trying to go. We talked about this earlier about going up to female wrestlers' rooms and knocking on their doors repeatedly while they're on their phones with their boyfriend saying, I don't know why he won't just go away. Hugh Hefner has never been accused of not giving people a position on the card or doing for them because they won't oil down their tits and say, hey, Big Daddy, what can I do for you?
Oh, no, but I'm just saying, the only thing about that is he did have women, hey, if you want to be on the cover.
Yeah, because that's his company. He runs a sex industry. He was the king of the sex industry for a long time. Wrestling is not the sex industry. And again, you can defend WWE. You can defend.
No, I just said anymore.
Okay, what I'm saying is, I want you to really think about that because you're defending Vince McMahon.
I'm not defending him.
But you're saying that it's necessary for him to come back and do X, Y, and Z.
I didn't say necessary.
He says
I said it's the right thing to do.
It is not. It is not in any way, shape, or form the right thing to do because you know who made himself a star? John Cena, by going out there. Because remember, John Cena was going to get fired by Vince until he started busting out raps, and Stephanie goes, holy shit, Dad, there's something to this. So if anybody needs to be there, it's Stephanie, because Stephanie was the one that said, let's give him a shot.
Well, then you didn't hear my whole thing then, did you?
I heard most of it. I heard enough.
Oh, no. Did you hear me when I said, I think if you have the guy that's in the White House there.
Oh, yeah, no, and that's fine. I heard that part.
No, then that means you might have Linda there.
And I'm fine with that.
Which I think you have Shane and Stephanie there, too.
I'm fine with that. But
I think if you get those three, you don't get the other one.
I don't think you need the other one. I don't think in any planet should that other one come back and do anything with them.
But I do believe A. McMahon should be in there to congratulate.
If they are, great. If they're not, I don't think it matters anymore. I think what it comes down to is this. John Cena should be celebrated without controversy. John Cena deserves the right to go out on his shield and whatever, whether he loses or wins against Gunther, it doesn't matter what at this point. He's look, in the last couple of years, he's done enough of giving back that people can forget about the Super Cena situation, or they can forget about all the stuff where he never fucking dropped the belt or this and that, whatever. People can accept that. The problem is you keep bringing back a guy, and I say it very boldly, and I'm grateful for the stuff that we talked about with him because it led you and me to becoming friends and fostering a relationship. And you're one of my closest friends in the world because of everything that's happened and everything we've talked about. But Vince McMahon, the human being, not the character. I don't give two fucks about the character. The man has had his fingers involved with so many horrible things. And I'm not just talking about the sexual stuff. I'm talking about the Owen Hart stuff. I'm talking about the Ashton Mazzaro stuff, covering that up. I'm talking about Nancy Argentino. I'm talking about the fucking bad business practices he did where he kicked out 2 members of the board so he could get what he wanted. Oh, yeah, he's also going to court for that, too. I'm talking about all the things that he's been able to have 9 lives about, and here he is. So how do you get somebody like that who's richer than fucking anybody in the world, right? He's got money at the ass. He never has to worry about anything. You take away his legacy. That's how you punish somebody like that. You will never see a WWE that celebrates Vince McMahon in its Hall of Fame. For what that means, whatever that matters to anybody, what's that worth? You'll never see it. You'll never see Vince McMahon with his skunk haircut anymore back on television because he did that to himself. Because him and John Laurinaitis decided to do stuff that was inappropriate, allegedly, with a woman in his office. Because he, of his own fucking admission, because of text messages, had a sexual interaction with a woman, whether she was in it for the money or whether she actually cared about him, whatever will be proven in court at some point. He did these things. He's implicated in these things. There's enough there that something happened. I'm not saying that the most horrible things have happened, but something happened where he's implicated in all this.
You know what gets to me sometimes is next month is going to be 2 years, right?
Yep.
P. Diddy's been tried and convicted for shit that happened. It's like, wait a minute, how has this guy been tried and convicted quicker?
I would look as someone we put out a video, and you know this. This was the beginning of me and your friendship. We put out a fucking video detailing everything before Netflix even put out anything, before anything we did. And what did they do? They tried to cover it up. I have a sore spot because they were trying to cover up the truth. We never made a dime on any of those views or anything in the videos we put out when it came to victims. We never monetized anything. Could we have? Yeah, we would have made a decent chunk of change. Never did it. Why? Because the truth was more important. And they didn't care about that. They weren't trying to stop us from making money. They were stopping us from putting facts out. Because anything that came out was stuff that was said by him, by people close to him, by interviews that he signed off on, that people were too lazy to go look back at it. Everything we put out was factual.
Hey, listen, we've said it before. Nothing between a journalist and a speculative piece of shit.
Yeah.
Listen, if every view you put out there, if you start the thing off, these are the views of this show and this show only, doesn't mean anything's factual. We're just stating our opinions.
I could appreciate that, actually.
if you want to start every show like that.
Here's a perfect example, and I say this because we are close, and because I know I can talk to you about this. If we didn't do our fact checking, if we were like everybody else, if we just fucking told the line like everybody else and did stuff just like everybody else, you and I would have never talked. But because I feel that I have a duty to get the truth, because my wife and I feel that there should be some accountability when you're going to say stuff on such a drastic level, you have to get the truth and all the facts. That's why that happened.
Well, if you want to put it like that too, it's like, think about it like this. For 30 years, there was never a second side of the story. It was always being led.
You're right. And because of that, you gave me enough plausible deniability. Just like there's a guy out there named Josh who, hey, if you're watching this, because of him and his passion for the Chris Benoit case, he's made me believe that there could be that case was handled so horribly. There's so much there. There's so much that could be. I'm not convinced on Chris Benoit until I see some more facts. There is a possibility that was not a self-deletion, that it was actually some foul play involved on many other ends. I'm not going to go into detail. At some point, I would love to have him come talk about that. But you and he are the only two people that have had enough courage and enough fucking facts that were able to talk to me and say, hey, this is why I feel this way. Look, you know this better than anybody. If we were pieces of shit who just cared about views, a certain video we put up 2 years ago, a year ago, would still be up. But because of respect for you and that man's family, it's down. It's not there.
And and I say this, and I say, certain people in the industry, if you notice, certain stories since I've started talking don't get pressed a lot anymore.
They don't. But here's what I will say. This is the thing that will come back to you. You very much defend him at times, as far as Vince. You very much what about this? You always play devil's advocate, and you're excellent at that. I've never knocked you for that. But I'm going to play devil's advocate for the first time with you. I've said this before, and I don't know if you've really thought about it, but I'm going to say it again here live. I am of the opinion that a guy that you respect, a guy whose legacy you and I have fought for the truth on to get, no matter what it is, no matter how the coin flips on that, no matter what evidence comes out, and if we can find the actual truth to rectify a man who for 40 years has been called something he may not be, I think he took the fall for Vince. I think that Vince knew things, and that man took the heat for things, and he allowed him to be vilified as a monster by other people.
I've said it before, and I said it to this person personally. You know more about Vince than anybody alive. Yes. And at the time he did. Why don't you talk?
And he didn't.
And he didn't.
And
he took everything he knew to his grave.
And you and him, he taught you a lot about being an honorable man. He taught you a lot about fucking being straightforward, honest, and loyalty. And you have been loyal to me, and I have been loyal to you. But I'm not going to lie to you and sit here and say that I don't feel like a guy that you considered a mentor, a guy that was very good to you, a guy that you defended to your fucking last breath, got fucked over by Vince McMahon. And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Listen, I told you before, and I'll tell you again. When he saw the other guy go back, he saw and he found out about, hey, somebody admitted to not telling the truth. Why don't you pick up the frickin' phone? And his response was, I'm waiting for him. And at that point in his life, it was too late. And finally, he made the decision to actually move on. But,
Pat got to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are other people that have been used up and spit out. Who's to say that Pat didn't say, motherfucker, for everything I've done for you, you need to make this right?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. The difference between Pat, Mel, and Terry, I'll give you the biggest three differences. Terry was only there a short while. He wasn't there nearly as long as Pat. Mel, he was always the expendable one. And I think Vince always believed he ain't going to say nothing anyway. He needed Pat.
Yeah.
Pat didn't need him.
Well, see, and Pat had more on him than anybody thought, I believe.
Oh, no. I'll give you the... What happens if Pat Patterson goes to WCW?
Oh, fuck no. They could do without a Mel. That's what I'm saying.
They could not do without Pat Patterson.
Exactly. So Mel, in my opinion...
was expendable.
Exactly. A guy that you care about as your friend, who you know in your heart of hearts could not have been the monster they portrayed him to be. I believe you because you're so passionate about it. I believe that nothing happened while you were working with him. And I also believe that monsters like that, if he was that, he wouldn't have been able to hide it from you because you were basically his right-hand fucking man, even as a kid.
Like I said to people, I've said to people, I don't know how many times, 20 years this guy lived in exile and not one charge after the fact. That kind of shit, especially at that era, did not happen. Today, could you get away with 20 years of doing something like that? Absolutely not.
But see,
only because of what's on the internet. Okay. Back then, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, racism in this country was even higher back then than it is today.
So you're saying it's okay for them to just sacrifice the black man? Because it was the time period, it's okay that they fucked the black man over.
In Vince's world, yes, it was.
Okay, so Vince fucked over this guy, and you're still going to try to defend him and say that it's right for him to go.
If you hear how I'm saying it, though, is what I'm saying is, does this guy, for what the other guy did for the business of professional wrestling, deserve to just walk out and hug a guy?
No. Vince does not deserve.
You say no. I say, does he need to be there? No. Should he be there? Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so this is where I argue with you, because
only because of Cena's feelings, not mine.
No. And speaking of Cena's feelings, you said his dad would come out. You know that Cena, after what if you saw the Joe Rogan interview, him and his father have not been tight until recently. They finally reconciled,
and that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So this isn't about, and John has come out and said, look, he knows that he has to say things, and him and Vince had a relationship. Great. It was what it was. But he also has to be able to take into account, look,
hey Dan,
Jeffrey Dahmer was a son.
Oh.
Gacy was a son. I'm not saying to that extent. Vince wasn't eating people that we know of.
Define eating.
You sick fuck. What I'm saying is, these were monsters. Charles Manson was somebody's son. Charles Manson was somebody's kid, right? So these were all monsters who don't get a path back. Now, I'm not pushing that Vince is to that level, but the motherfucker was involved in a lot of bullshit that he had. This is his own creation. Just like WWE was his creation, this is his own creation. And look, it couldn't happen to a better guy to fall on his own sword.
Let me ask you this, and this goes for you and her. Do you guys think somewhere he's done an interview, whether on his own or with a reporter, to where the day he dies, there's going to be a tape that's going to come out, and he's going to highlight everything he's ever done? So do you think there's one, or do you hope there's one to where he does?
I've seen enough of him, but I'll say this: I think that this one, I'm more inclined to believe that he was played this time. I think he spent plenty of years spitting up and using women and treating them like objects. I think he played just listening to.
No, I'm saying, do you think that?
No, hold on.
When he dies,
I don't think
it's going to be released.
I don't think that like a fucking kill tape that's going to put everything out there. No.
Yeah.
I think that what it comes down to with Vince is he spent so many years hurting people, getting what he wanted, and whatever, whether Rita Chatterton said was right, whatever anybody said was right or wrong, whatever he's done it, and it's fucked, and everything that we've found out and uncovered about him being a piece of shit is what it is. I think he legitimately started to care for this woman that he's recently in this fucking court case with, and I think he got sloppy. I think there's text messages because he allowed them, because he dropped his guard after all these years. He found somebody who's like, oh my God, I actually really like this one, and we're having fun, and we're doing this. And I think he got feelings, and they got in the way that he didn't realize, oh my God, she's playing me.
I live in a community to where we have and it's funny. The other day, somebody who runs a business or ran a business up in my neighborhood was ordered to turn over burner cell phone information. Multi-billion-dollar company, the owner who got unceremoniously fired had to turn over burner phones. And I'm thinking, and when I'm hearing this, I'm like, that is so funny. To where, with a person like Vince, why did he use all his own personal stuff?
Because he got comfortable, Gerard.
And that's what I'm saying to you is, for a man who for years, decades, probably thought more about the moves that he was doing than anybody we probably ever met in our lives.
You brought up Pat, right? You and Pat were cool. You had a good relationship. But Pat was his cleanup man. And the shit hit the fan. Pat was the guy that cleaned up the issues. I believe that. So who did he replace his cleanup man with? Johnny Ace, right? Johnny Ace was the worst fucking cleanup man in the history of anything. Because how quick did he drop down and turn on fucking Vince?
What's the one thing Johnny Ace wasn't that Pat Patterson was?
He didn't have balls? I don't know.
He wasn't.
Loyalty?
Pat Patterson wasn't loyal to the money. Pat Patterson was loyal to Vince.
Yeah.
John Laurinaitis knew only one way. You're paying me, I'll be loyal to the money.
And how'd that work out for him?
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. To where.
So then again, you have a guy who's.
It's like spouses. You live, you breathe, you die together. Rich, poor, better for worse.
But so you have a guy, right, who's willing.
Vince and Pat were more spousal.
Oh, I agree, 100%. But then you have a guy in Johnny Ace who literally is saving his own ass. Has flip-flopped 2 or 3 times
over the money.
Yes. Oh no, and to avoid fucking court.
Yep.
And I can now see in my head the idea of a woman who's saying, "Look, this isn't about fucking. This is not about me. I would have taken him to fucking. I would have taken him to court. I wouldn't have taken him to civil court over this if this was about fucking justice. I'm trying to get paid, and maybe you can get out of this because none of them were going to do jail time. This had nothing to do with jail time. This was a civil proceeding because she's trying to get money from a fucking NDA."
Laurinaitis won't be able to go to work at a McDonald's. Or you probably can't get a job at a McDonald's right now.
True.
Okay. Huh?
That's very true.
Okay. Just because of the
fact. These aren't criminal. Again, people tend to forget that. They look. And this is the problem I have with her, is that if this was a fucking real, legitimate fucking criminal case, we would have seen fucking the feds up and down their asses over it. The feds have only gone over them about fucking money issues. They've never gone after them about fucking a sexual assault case or a harassment case, or whatever it may be. This is all civil. So this is all about the
local police haven't either.
This is all about money.
It's all about money.
And again, you have a lot of people online and other places that will sit there and they will white knight and they'll say, "Oh, she's the victim. She's this, she's that." Okay. You know who the real victim was? You know who a real victim was, who I will support 100%, who is like the guiding light of this fucking channel and the reason why we got involved in any of that? Ashley Mazzaro, a woman who literally, I believe in my heart, self-deleted because of the stress. I think she raised her daughter to the age, and again, this is my speculation, I'm not putting this on anybody else, raised her daughter to the age of 18, and when she couldn't handle it anymore, she ended her own life because of the trauma she suffered.
How's she doing?
The daughter?
Yeah.
She stays out of the public light. Good for her.
And
but she lost her mother.
For her to.
Yeah, because even Ashley's friends came out and did the same thing and tried to fuck. Old friends, right? It was old friend. Yeah, they hadn't spoken in decades. Was trying to fucking get clout off Ashley.
Yeah, try to put words into a mouth that
never fucking happened. That never fucking happened. But fuck her aside, I believe Vince is responsible for that. Because at the head of a company, if you didn't know about it, you were told about it. As far as her training goes, was never properly trained. Everything that she put out there and basically her manifesto, her boyfriend saying that the motherfucker was, while she was at a hotel, wanted her to fly on the private jet because he wanted to tap that. But she wanted nothing to do with the greasy old man. Some people have dignity and they were like, "Look, I'm not fucking you for a spot." He did these things. He did these things just like I truly believe. Again, you can disagree. I feel he fucked Mel and hung Mel out to dry. He's a monster in my opinion. Now you defend him. Hey, that's you knew the guy personally. You had elevator rides with the guy. That's great. I don't.
Defending him for only booking decisions, not personal decisions.
Yeah, but y'all's booking decisions both sucked. Sorry.
Well, listen, like I said before, and I'll say it again. What he's done in his personal life, those are things he's going to have to answer for someday. That me and you, no matter what we say, there's going to be a higher power someday that he has.
God, he's going to fucking burn in the lowest fucking quarter of hell. Okay.
And what he's gone through personally with the family and stuff like that, those are decisions
he's put that family through.
Right.
Okay. Another story, right?
No. What I'm saying is,
you
can speculate all we want about.
Okay, so here's not speculation. Here's something from the horse's mouth. Would you love your son, and your son's a cool motherfucker, right?
The day he told
you're going to have to stab me in the heart, and if you don't do it, I'm going to have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Listen, I told you. So last Sunday, before we did the show, my son actually drove out of here to go back home. Okay.
Shout out.
And I'm pretty sure, just like you and
put up with him for all your life.
Oh, just like you've done with your dad.
Yeah.
Do we always get along? No, we're going to have disagreements, but we don't have those.
As a dad, I understand that.
Yeah, but we don't have those disagreements to where we don't talk to each other for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Because, as human beings, you're going to have disagreements.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell him all the time, there's the right way, the wrong way, and my way. He hasn't understood that yet. But when I don't own a business, I work for somebody else. And I try to tell him that all the time, to where I try to say, in life, you're not always going to get things the way you want to get them done.
No.
You have to rely on other people to get it done for you. In the professional wrestling business, you have too many interchanging things. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The guy in charge of one of right now, the biggest wrestling company in the world, his honeymoon phase is over.
He sucks too, if we're going to be brutally honest. Yeah.
I'm going to say his honeymoon phase is over.
Are we talking about Nick, or are we talking about Ari?
Triple H.
He's not the head boss.
No. His honeymoon phase, head of creative. His honeymoon phase is over.
No, I agree.
He's basically allowed all of his producers and writers to go back to what they were doing under Vince
Again,
McMahon.
I don't agree with that either. And if you watch
Look at the product.
That's not what I'm saying.
The product shows to me it's Triple H sitting in his chair, but Vince McMahon is behind it. That's what it says to me.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. I watched it was My Name is Paul Heyman. It was the documentary that put out by them. And Paul was talking about where he was having conversations with RVD, CM Punk, and the Big Show. And he was basically like, look, they brought up 10 things. I can knock down 8 of them. I can argue the other 2, whatever. It was a constant battle with him trying to get what he wanted on the show and not produce the stupid, idiotic things that they were trying to make him produce. Okay. So that's different when you're talking to the head of the company, who is Vince McMahon. Okay. Triple H in no way, shape, or form, let's say this 100%, is not the head of that company. The head of that company right now is Nick Khan and ultimately the shareholders of TKO, main of which being Ari Emanuel, right? Okay. So no matter what Triple H wants to do, who has proven time and time again, he has a brilliant wrestling mind, right? Whatever his personal issues are with any, like The Rock or whatever, and people try to speculate, whatever, he has a really good wrestling mind. Ultimately, they have to answer to one person, right? They have to answer to that board and whoever's in control of that board. What I feel like, from looking at the fucking newspaper roll that is the now Ring, from looking at constantly having to see Logan Paul's face and Prime bottles everywhere, from every fucking interaction with a fucking influencer or YouTuber, from having to see fucking from Red Rapper chick on NXT, who I don't give a fuck about you twerking, get the fuck off my screen. All the bullshit we see is indicative of a company that's gone super corporate. It is a mom and pop sandwich shop that turned into Subway. They got fucked over and they're having to deal with this. That's not Paul Levesque's fault, I don't believe.
I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Because we just talked about it. Vince had Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
In my eyes, Triple H doesn't have his Pat Patterson.
He doesn't.
And so
but he also doesn't have the upper management in his corner.
What I'm going to say is, when you're head of creative and you don't have that. Now, Bruce Pritchard could be his second guy, okay?
Oh, really? I'm tired. Look,
No. Hear me out. That's not Triple H's guy.
No.
He could have Shawn Michaels. That's not Triple H's guy.
Yeah, but see, Shawn is doing a damn good job in NXT. He's continuing their vision in the smaller brand.
Right. My thing is to bring in his guy, to where the guy that he could look at and he could say, what do you think? And, the guy that has no connection. And he could tell guys in the back, go screw yourself. I don't care. We're doing it this way. Because he's not trying to be one of the boys. Okay? He doesn't care about the feelings of the boys. He cares about the feeling of the business. Triple H right now, I don't think has that guy who can separate himself from being one of the boys, as we complain about all the time with Tony Khan, to where he has a guy who just wants to do what's right for them.
Okay, but see, here's the difference between AEW and WWE. In AEW, you know who the fucking boss is.
And the guy who's the boss, right?
Yeah.
He loves to tell you, we're going to have a one-of-a-kind match, one-of-a-kind match, one-of-a-kind match, one-of-a-kind match.
No, fuck the matches. I'm not talking about the matches. I'm talking about the fact that at least we've done a role reversal. Because if we used to complain about WCW, right? We used to complain that nobody knew who was in charge. That you don't know what's happening next and what have you, right?
Well, you know who's in charge of WWE still. You still know who's in charge.
Do you?
You know Triple H is still your creative boss.
No, he's not. I mean, sure. Okay, so he's supposed to put it out there, but
he's your creative boss.
Okay, so then we have another boss named Nick Khan who's telling people that, oh, the prices are great. My ass.
Right. No, remember. You know what the sad part is? The guy that we mentioned before, he used to be in charge of both of those.
Yeah.
Creative and the business.
Okay, and then you have another boss above that named Ari Emanuel who runs everything, and they can tear.
He don't know what the hell he's doing.
And they care about a bottom line. Oh, this motherfucker saying yeet makes us money. Well, we're going to yeet him to death so there's nothing left.
It's like when Eric Bischoff used to complain about Ted Turner, and he would say, Ted Turner,
Eric.
Yeah, right. How much do you need? What do you need for this and stuff like that?
Well, see, okay, but there's a difference. Ted Turner, for all his faults, loved him some wrestling.
Problem was, he loved him some wrestling. If he would have liked him some wrestling, he might still have. He got taken over by fucking AOL Time Warner. Yeah.
That's what happened.
And how long? It's funny how we go from Ted Turner to AOL, the WBD down to Netflix, which Netflix 25 years ago wasn't. It was more like it was like Jacob, not even thought about.
So that's what I'm saying is, again, you're switching over to that, but ultimately we have to tell it like, okay, would you agree that the Republican Party of this generation is not your fucking father's Republican Party?
Coming from a very blue state, I wouldn't even know what the hell that means.
Okay, so the conservatives, or I'm sorry, the liberals in your state, and the Democrats of this generation are not the Democrats of your father's generation.
Speaking of that, because you bring it up, congratulations on your victory.
Which one?
The one where the Supreme Court just did what they just did for Texas?
About?
The redistricting of Texas and stuff?
Oh, yeah, the redistricting. Well, I'm not going to that. But what I'm saying is... Hopefully
you guys get rid of that Crockett.
She's already out.
Oh.
What I'm saying is...
Oh, she got voted out?
She's gone. She lost her seat. What I'm saying is we have a change. The WWE that we grew up with from a business structure is not the same. It is heartless. It is a machine. It is cold. And as much as you don't want to admit this, and as much as you don't want to...
Dan, I lost my WWE the day they got the FO.
Okay.
And then, no. If you think about it, the WWF I grew up with has not been the same since they got the FO.
No, and I agree with that. But what I'm saying is the version you have now is not the mom and pop.
With the entertainment.
Beyond that, it's not the family business it was before. It wasn't a guy named Vince and his two kids running a show. It has nothing to do with that anymore. Now it is a corporate machine.
It is a bottom line machine.
Where you can say that, and I know you're going to hate this, AEW is a guy who loves wrestling, is not perfect. And I'm not saying that you don't have to choose one. You can choose neither. Okay, so look, people will tell you have to choose one or the other, right? You got to be with this or you got to be with that. You can't be both. Well, you can. That's a choice. Or a fourth choice that no one seems to bring up. You don't have to watch anything.
Turn the channel.
You don't have to watch anything. And that's what they're getting to if they continue down this road. Because there's hardcore WWE fans like you will never give AEW the shot it deserves. And that's fair. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not here to judge you for that. I like fucking pro wrestling in all its fucking forms. Where people were watching WWE and some people were watching WCW, I watched both. I saw the rise of Sting. I saw the rise. I didn't hear you. What?
No, good. I was talking to somebody else.
I watched the rise of Sting, right? I watched the Phenom become the Phenom, the Undertaker, okay? I watched all this stuff happen as a kid. Every Monday was fucking must-see TV. I lived through that era. It was amazing. I also lived through the fucking C Nation era where everybody hated it and they were hoping for one day somebody would step up and take his spot, whatever. I watched a fucking cesspool of nothing. WCW got beat. So there was nothing left to watch but TNA. Okay, I watched all of that. And what I'm watching now is this heartless shell of what I grew up with being fucking used up and spit out and played for as a fucking salesman to let's sell Logan Paul's Prime. Oh, it's cool. It's a Riyadh season or fucking Best Western or whatever the fucking billboard is this week on the fucking ring mat.
You forgot one.
Huh?
Real American beer, brother.
That's what I'm saying. All this shit's all over the fucking mat, and they're making money hand over fist, and it's never enough. They've become a corporate machine, which they were never meant to be. On the other hand, I have AEW, who's trying their damnedest to put on a wrestling program that I'm enjoying.
Let me ask you this, Dan. If it wasn't for the NFL, is AEW in business? Because the NFL right now, the Jacksonville Jaguars are paying for AEW right now.
They can't.
No. Chad Khan is funneling money to AEW.
Are you willing to back that up with facts? Because I really don't want to get sued.
No. Chad Khan is funneling money.
Are you sure about that? Can you back that up?
Supposedly.
Thank you. Allegedly.
Okay? Because there's no way in hell you can tell me, with what you're looking at for ratings and stuff like that, is generating $180 million in revenue.
Okay, you can say that all you want, but it is. Because I watched her and I literally watched a pay-per-view.
Well, let me ask you this. If WBD that was in that great position, they wanted to just sold to Netflix.
That had nothing to do with that.
And Netflix did overpay for that too, by the way.
No, what I'm saying, WBD made a business decision, right? They made a business. Warner Brothers chose to be bought out by Netflix.
You know what kills me about that is, what's the number one character of Warner Brothers?
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny! And you're crying poverty when you got Bugs Bunny?
Okay, so there's that. Okay, there's also that there could be shareholders that want to get out.
You know what it's called? Looney Tunes.
Okay, you can say that, but
it
could
be AEW to me? Looney Tunes.
And your fucking precious WWF WWE is fucking falling off hard. They took a wrong turn at Albuquerque, and they are not. There's no way they're coming back.
Which one's Roadrunner and which one's Wile E. Coyote?
Right now, AEW is doing the best they can, and they're working their ass off to produce a product that's actually really good.
You know, growing up and stuff like that, and when you watch that, and I listen, I've said it before, and I'm going to tell you again. I want competition because it makes everybody better.
As do I, but see, you seem to want them to fucking crush AEW and not give this alternative brand a chance.
Right now, what I'm watching, I'm going to tell you this right now. What I'm watching, I'm not thrilled. And I said to you, next Saturday night, I'm hoping to see wrestling that I didn't see last Saturday night.
So, welcome to the John Cena era. And it's sad that he's going to go out like this because I thought he deserved better. Every Monday we'd watch during the Ruthless Aggression era, hoping that this will be the week it turns around. Look, before the show started, I'm going to show you this. I was wearing this hat. And it's hard to be a fan of this team. It's very hard to be a fan of this team.
Not this one.
Yeah, because you're a piece of shit. It's very. And the reason I say that is because I have an owner of a team that doesn't give a shit. Why do you, Jacob? Hold on. I just got a message from Jacob. Don't feel bad, Jacob. We love you. Anyway.
No. Wait, hold on. My question is, does he feel bad because he's not on? Or does he just feel bad? Because if you just feel bad, Jacob, you got to let us know.
Which is the difference?
Yeah, huh?
There's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference. Does he feel bad because he's not on, or does he feel bad because he just feels bad?
He feels bad because he's not here, but he's always here in spirit. Hey, shut up! You're fucking up my point here. Jerry Jones has run my fucking Cowboys into the ground because of piss poor decisions, right? That's just what he's done. He's a piece of shit, right?
No, and I'm going to defend him on this.
If you fucking defend Jerry Jones, I will find you.
Hear me out. He's gotten the players. The freaking coaches suck.
Yeah, if he was a general manager who stayed the fuck out of if he was an owner and stayed the fuck out of their business and decided not to be a general manager.
Some of the players he's gotten, you look at it and say, how is this team not winning with the players he's gotten? And you look at the coaches. He got the guy from Green Bay to come down, and the guy couldn't win with the players.
Who hires the coaches?
Huh? I know he hired.
Okay.
He had Bill Parcells. He could have won with Parcells.
Okay.
How'd that work out? Hey, I'm only saying the fact of I'm not a fan of the Cowboys, but I've seen Jerry Jones.
I'm just saying, how'd that work out?
Hey, I've seen him overspend for some players that the team should have won.
You had one of the greatest coaches of all time, and you fired him. And I'm not talking about Jimmy yet. You fired the fucking fedora to make a fucking statement.
Hey, how many times did Billy Martin get fired from George Steinbrenner?
I'm just saying, you had fucking Tom Landry.
9 times?
Goat. You had the fucking GOAT. You fired him. Yeah. Then you had a guy who built teams out of nothing. He took a cokehead, a ball hog, a fucking asshole, and the tiniest running back in the history of fucking football and made it to a championship team. And because your ego wouldn't let go, you let him go to the fucking Dolphins, you dumb fuck. So I understand what it is to have a dumb fucking owner. Anyway, sorry. Back to my statement. It's hard to be a fan of that team sometimes. And I get for you, you're just now experiencing and really getting into the fact that it's hard to be a fucking WWE fan because what they're putting out is pure fucking garbage.
Oh no, listen. Listen. When they went through the steroid trial and they were doing shit with Dunk the Clown, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, the Goon, that was hard to watch.
But he loved it. He loved characters.
No.
He didn't want a fucking dentist gimmick named Isaac Yankem.
It was hard to watch, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You know who was there watching it with me and crying because of what we were watching?
Who?
Because of how it fallen off, and he couldn't believe that he couldn't be there to try and help him get out of it.
No, and I get that, but your boy, the one you defend all the
fucking time. It sucked.
That fucking skunk-headed piece of shit wanted to put that shit on television.
Right. And one guy who got lucky because another guy supported two other guys who were leaving happened. Okay, instead of you winning a King of the Ring, we're going to let this guy.
Yeah, you're going back to history that doesn't matter right now. I guess the Austin 316 means he saved my company.
Right, correct.
What I'm saying is,
we could be looking at WCW.
But what I'm again, they got lucky. I don't think they're going to get lucky again. I think that they have been.
Do you think AEW got enough to overtake?
It's not even about that anymore. I don't care. Like, look, that was the biggest issue that
has WWE won the war. AEW would never overtake them.
Absolutely, they would try to buy them out and sell them.
What I'm saying is,
you're not hearing what I'm saying. Okay, that's the mistake that everybody's made, and I think for the first time, someone's not making that mistake. Tony Khan is like, look, man, we're just here to do our fucking thing.
We're gonna do us. We're gonna do us. We're not gonna try and beat them.
Yes, finally, which is what we've all wanted from the beginning. They were different. Now you can sit here and argue the fact that AEW is X, Y, and Z, but if it wasn't for AEW, the treatment wouldn't have gotten better in WWE.
Yeah, and now it's regressed.
Yes.
And that's the reason why, to me, to where or to you, to where when now you look at AEW, it's like, oh, this ain't that bad anymore because the WWE product has gotten so predictable?
See, WWE has fallen under the same fucking, and Tony said it when he was being interviewed by Eric Hawani. These are the same practices that they're familiar with as far as WWE. It's right down their playbook to try to counter fucking produce, to try to do everything they can to promote things to fuck with AEW. And he's not even mad. He's like, whatever, it is what it is. They're going to do what they're going to do. We're going to do what we're going to do. And if you like it, cool. If you don't, you don't. But right now we have a contract for $30 million a year. We're going to take that. We're going to pay our talent. We're going to pay us. We're going to do what we need to do to get the job done. And they're doing a pretty good job of it.
180 million.
Oh, okay. 180 million. And they're still making that money guaranteed.
But are they making the revenue back?
Yeah. They're doing pretty damn good. Just look at the attendance it's going up. It's merchandise is going up.
Wait, whoa. Who do you think has a better merchandise?
Okay, so you're making that same you're making that same mistake again. It's not about WWE. Is AEW making enough money to cover their nut?
And so and a lot of people think the 180 million a year they got is the bottom line.
No.
It's not, it doesn't make them money, but does it lose money?
No, it doesn't lose money because now basically that paid for every show.
But when your competitors I'm saying is you're happy with your 180 million and your competitors doing 500 million.
Again, you're falling into that same fucking trap.
And, hold on. It's like when the USFL. It's like when the USFL was going against the NFL.
They're not going against them though, Gerard. See, and that's the thing. You're making the same mistake that everybody else makes when they're talking about this thing. This whole it's not a war anymore. It's not a war because one side has said, I'm not going to be this fucking childish anymore. And they put their guns down and they decided to do their own thing. We're not playing war anymore. We're going to do us. Now, that being said, now $300 or $500 million is great for a company like WWE. Go make your money and do whatever you want. Be fucking money hungry pieces of shit. For AEW, $180 million. You know what? That's not something that's not bad. Let's continue down that road and just keep producing our stuff.
It is, Dan. In the Attitude Era,
okay,
we had 3 shows. We had WWE, we had WCW, we had ECW.
Yeah.
ECW back then was more prominent than TNA today.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Does TNA help either cause at all today?
No. Well, the only thing TNA's being is a feeder system to WWE. They're basically being their bitch. Okay, so you have WWE and their feeder system NXT. It's a damn shame that TNA, for as long as it's been around, over 20 years at this point, has become NXT's bitch. You have become the bitch of the main show.
And because the reason why I ask about that is like, if ECW had tried to align more with WCW instead of WWE,
they would have never done that because of the hatred that one Paul Heyman has for Eric Bischoff.
Had
for Eric Bischoff.
I'm saying to you is because in the realm of all possibilities,
okay,
what cures all?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? That's what you're trying to say?
And money.
Okay.
WCW goes to ECW and gives them the same offer that Vince gave to Paul.
$4,000 a fucking month?
No. Any kind of thing to say, hey, do a cross promotion with us. Okay? And help us against these guys.
It doesn't, because we've learned this from every fucking wrestling business, every wrestling collaboration in history. Let's go back to fucking Superclass 3. Nobody got paid on that deal, and Vernon Gagne pocketed the money, even though fucking a guy from fucking Nashville wrestled a guy from fucking Dallas. None of them were fucking from Minnesota, yet they're holding the guy from Minnesota's belt, and none of them got paid. Promoters cannot fucking get along because it has to be their guy, and if it's not their guy, look, this is what you can say that was beautiful about the NWA. Ric Flair, hate him, love him, whatever, was able to be charismatic enough to win over every one of those fucking 7 territories promoters to do business for them.
And what did he always do? And like a lot of these,
he did fucking business, and he went into a territory and made their top guy look like he could actually be a big deal.
And he made sure he got paid before he did a match.
100%. But the fact of the matter is, you have a generation now, and it's all Vince's fault, because when Vince destroyed the territorial system, the dynamic of that, now he made a monopoly. He pulled all the best talent away from him, and he turned everybody, and they did it too late, into fighting him. He fucked them and left them for dead, and then mocked them by putting them in his Hall of Fames.
My thing is, I would love to see a physical one. I would love to a physical wrestling Hall of Fame.
Why? You have to care about it for it to be
no. The Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I would love that.
And
I love the Cauliflower Alley Hall of Fame, and that they still care about the old school and shit like that. But the fact is, the WWE Hall of Fame, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, because I think it was Scott or Sabu, or Scott Steiner or Sabu, somebody said it. It doesn't mean shit. Because it's hold on. Hear me out. Here's why. Because it is a glorified fucking trophy case to your buddies. The people that deserved it, because if that wasn't the case, there's a certain female that should be in there right now that still isn't in there. And her name is fucking Tara. Her name is fucking Victoria. She was amazing. She did her thing in a time when wrestlers weren't allowed to be like her. Miss Elizabeth, who I believe is still not in there.
And I think the only reason why she's not in there, and
if you say it's because of what happened and how she died, bullshit. Because Lex went in there.
I don't think she has any living family members to celebrate her going in for.
So you're saying that she doesn't deserve to still be in there?
No, I'm saying listen. She should have her own freaking plaque. Because I'll tell you this right now.
The Elizabeth Award.
You get these women come out there today, and we talked about it earlier, who talk about this. If it wasn't for Elizabeth Hewlett, we don't even have a women's division.
I say, and look, say what you want about Sherry Martel. I love Sherry Martel. I think she's fantastic. You like Sherry Martel for other reasons, but I like Sherry Martel.
At the same time, you're going to tell me that's a bad reason to like her?
I'm not saying that's a bad reason. But what I'm saying is, I thought the world of Sherry Martel. I love Luna Vachon. I thought Luna Vachon was amazing for her character. But there's never going to be another person like Elizabeth. She hold on. She in a time where people like to see that idea of women being whatever. She was classy. She never came out there looking like a fucking streetwalker. She came out there in the most gorgeous fucking gowns. She supported her fucking man, and she did what a good valet does. She elevated the person she was with.
I'm going to give you what about her. Think about this. Miss Elizabeth was the quintessential. That's the woman I want to be with me. That's the woman.
Okay.
Here's
the thing. It took her a long time to find her gimmick, and I'm very happy that she has. There's a woman in AEW that if Elizabeth was a wrestler, if Elizabeth had the talent to be a wrestler and had the fucking chops, she would have been Timeless Toni Storm. And you have Timeless Toni Storm who comes out there and talks a bunch of shit, but doesn't dress like a whore. She goes out there in her old school fucking singlet and does the damn job. Does she fucking say inappropriate things? Does she talk shit? Yes, because that's the generation we live in. But you sit there and people will give shit to AEW, but they've done so much more for a tag team division. They've done so much more for their men's division, their lighter weight divisions. And they've done something for women that no one else has ever done. They've given them a bigger platform than WWE has ever given their women.
You know what Miss Elizabeth did that a lot of women today do not do?
What?
Simplification.
Mm-hmm.
She did it. She did it simply by being what? Herself, supposedly. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. the next woman after her to try and be the same way that I'm talking about, fell off of Mauna Lea right into the fire pit? Sunny.
Oh God! Don't ever compare her to Elizabeth.
No, I said when she started and since has fallen from Mauna Lea right into that fire pit.
She did it to herself.
Right. I'm saying she was supposed to be the second coming and made it better. That was a slap in the face to Macho. Okay. Because of how he left. That Sonny was supposed to pick that up. But here's the problem. Unlike Elizabeth, Sonny didn't stay to her man.
Poor Chris Candido.
I think she slept with everybody but her man. But where in Liz's case, other than the fact that Liz's husband was a absolute fanatic about her, the women back then, should I say, the business back then was different for the females. Where nowadays, we've said it, you've had some female matches today that blow away men's matches. Blow them away.
Yeah.
You've had a couple women in the past 20 years who came out
and just blew people.
And I'm talking about China.
Oh.
To where, okay, put a man in front of me. I'm going to make him look stupid. Rhea Ripley today, I think,
is the second coming of Joanie Laurer.
More athletic.
Absolutely.
But because of Joanie Laurer, people have seen him before. And now, listen, like I said, we both agreed on one thing. The woman's champion right now. If she just would get rid of all the bad habits and just learn how to re-wrestle. You have another one that's been sitting at home that we haven't seen in months that is so physically gifted in that ring. I'm talking about Jade and Bianca.
I have given up on the experiment called Jade Cargill.
No, I'm saying is the fact of the women, and yeah, you had one woman come back last week, but I'm saying is the fact of we could actually enjoy women wrestling, not just being eye candy. To where it's a point of where the WWE has to be careful because if they spotlight the women last, they're going to overshadow the men and make the men look stupid.
And right now, there's nothing going on in the men's roster I give a shit about.
Right. And listen, I got to tell you, the one thing I saw about this NXT thing yesterday is the double move by the move by Sol Ruka, a double one off the rope. I'm like, what this woman, I feel like one day she's going to break her neck doing this move.
What I'm saying is, though, that you've elevated fucking the athleticism to a level that it's never been before. And anybody from this era could go back and put everybody in that era to shame. And if you had Sol Ruka in the era of Lita and Trish, who would you be talking about?
My thing about this is, okay, what's the one thing in that era people were, okay, you're just getting, now, I'm glad you bring that up because I heard somebody bring up to where, I think it was Nick Khan that came up and said, Rey Mysterio was nothing until the machine got behind him.
Bullshit.
Correct. I'm going to say, in WCW, because somebody came out and said, wait, in WCW.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you just one match that changed everything. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc.
The cruiserweights are what kept WCW alive.
You tuned in to watch the Goldbergs and the fucking whole
NWO. But you stayed there.
But you stayed because of the Dean Malenkos, the Eddie Guerreros, the Chris Jerichos.
Yes. Hey, listen. Look what happened when the Radicals came over. That's all you got to do. look what happened the night the Radicals came over. Okay? Were you changing the channel when you saw the Radicals? Not at all. Today?
Why would I waste my time now? There were guys that what I wanted to see were now in WWE.
Right. And what was it? It was the shot to where people were like, oh shit. It was starting to change. For a year, you saw all your WWE guys now on WCW television. Shall we say Rick Rude on both shows in the same night?
Yeah. But see, Rick Rude left because of what they did to Brett.
Okay.
That was different.
And then they had to go back and do it. Oh, that was a hard spot to fill with Harvey Whippleman. My thing was, when you look at what's going on back then and today, there's not much difference in comparison to then to today. You still got your certain factions that pull all the puppet strings, and they're god awful at what they do in the ring.
I will say what we see in the ring is 10 times better than what we've seen over the years. And I agree with that, especially from the women. But the women have now started overshadowing the men to the point, like I said, I don't give a shit.
You know what you've seen? I'm going to tell you this right now. Even though all their promos are scripted, give me the last time you saw a promo by a man that made you feel.
That's okay. So we'll talk about Braun Breaker. He did a promo on Monday, basically calling out CM Punk. And that was, they're saying it's his best. And it might be his best, but I didn't give a shit. You've already taken it to a point where, like I said, you're going to have to do something heavy. You've lost me as a fucking, I can't speak for everybody, but I think I'm pretty in line with most people watching wrestling right now. I don't give a shit about the Vision. I don't care about Logan Paul. Don't give two fucks about fucking Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. I like CM Punk. Don't give two fucks what's going to happen. I feel bad his dog passed away. I don't care. Now, okay.
How long before they have the dog as a doll?
What?
How long before they have that dog as a doll?
Man, I hope not, because he's going to get pissed.
Listen, I'm still looking for mine.
What I do care about is Stephanie Vaquera against Liv Morgan. What I do care about is seeing what's going to happen with fucking Maxine Dupree and fucking Ivy Nile. What I care about is seeing what's going to happen.
Natalia's going to get involved in that, right?
You saw the promos that I was been telling y'all are coming, right? You finally saw her, right? So I've been right up to this point. I've called it.
I'm never sure you're right.
I know you hate to admit that, but I've called it as far as Maxine Dupree getting the belt.
I had a buddy of mine the other day tell me I was RIGH, and then his phone stopped.
He stopped typing. All you want, but you can go back. It's all here, right? You can tell him I've been right. Okay. I've called it about Maxine Dupree, and Natalia's getting that belt. There's just no way around it.
My thing is though, what does it do for the younger women if she gets it?
What does it do for her? And how many times has she put over somebody? It's about her. She's due.
But she's had the title before though.
Okay, so she had title runs that meant nothing. She was always a transitional champion. When is Natalya and I say this because I'm a fan of this version of Natalya. I'm a fan of the Hart family. I'm a fan of a woman who had to become the breadwinner because her husband got fucking hurt because of a freak accident on a move that never hurt anybody. She deserves it. She deserves that run. And she doesn't have many more left in her.
But my question to you is, is she up to par with the women of today?
She is the queen of the dungeon.
But is she up to par with the women of
today?
Yes. Because
I want to see... Okay, have you watched anything with her in AAA?
Nah.
Where this character has really gained roots.
AAA to me is a automobile club, so...
Killing me. You're fucking killing me. This is where Jacob should have been here. Jacob would tell you to watch Natalya as the legend that she is now in AAA and watch her have matches with fucking Fabi Apache and all these other girls in fucking AAA.
No, but I do read up about what she's doing. I read up.
Okay, so to see her there and to bring that monster, I love that vignette again. Do it again. Get up. breaking this girl and then smiling afterwards. That is so fucking Stu Hart. Stu Hart was a piece of shit to people because he cared about his fucking business. Because if you wanted to wrestle in Stampede, you had to pass the smell check with fucking Stu Hart. And Bret Hart has gone on record to say his dad would stretch people for fun. He loved it. He loved fucking breaking young talent and making them go, okay, again. And you have that character coming out, Natalia, for a women's division that is in dire need for a fucking top heel. Oh, hell yeah. I see her taking that belt and running with it for a good long period. Hell, I could even see Maxine losing that belt to her and then eventually having to fight her way back, Rocky style, in a montage to get it back.
It's funny to where you just bring that up, and like when I talked to Kurt, and he's like, "Oh, doing 500 flips a day," and that's what it was like. And I'm like, and to watch that, where I look at what's going on today with some of these people in there. When I was working with Ric Flair, he'd come to the building in a nice suit, and before his matches, he'd be out there doing push-ups, sit-ups, and stuff like that, and staying fit and staying loose. And did you hear the comments from Bayley this past week to where she doesn't understand how some of these people nowadays come into arenas? Last one's there, first one's to leave. And I say about this is, you know as well as I do, Dan, you will never get better at your craft. Last one to arrive, first one to leave. Watching other people, soaking up everything they're doing, learning as a sponge. I don't care where your spot is on the card. The more you soak it in, the more you enjoy the business. Because you know what? With guaranteed contracts, you're getting paid to stand there and watch. It's not like you're just doing your match anymore and say, okay, I can go now because, I'm only getting paid to be here for this. You're getting paid the whole time you're there because you're guaranteed contract. You're on a 24/7 payday. So what is it if you got to sit there and watch other people wrestle for another hour? What? You got to fly back to your hotel room? Instead of being around your peers? Learning from each other? Making the product better? Or is it because nowadays too many guys and girls have gotten lazy at the craft because they don't work the schedule they used to work anymore?
But you always bring that up, and I'm going to argue with you that William Regal, who was in AEW for a cup of coffee, did a wonderful job with the Blackpool Combat Club, would go out to the ring, much like a lot of guys are still doing to this day.
He loved it.
Okay, so you have guys who are in that same ilk, like a Daniel Bryan, a Bryan Danielson, going out there every day with these talents and not having fucking.
And you know it's not required, right? It's whoever wants to show up.
And they're doing it. All of them are doing it. It's not a small group of people. They're out there to learn. Which again, that blows my mind of why you wouldn't give this company more of a shot, because they're doing everything that you wish they would be doing in WWE.
Okay, here's my problem. You do one show a week with your main roster talent, and you drive that main roster talent.
Are you really going to go into that? This is where we're going to get to closer to the end of the show. We're going to bitch about you talking about Stephanie McHare only speaking Spanish and not getting a ride to this fucking.
No, what I'm saying is,
this is almost as bad as your fucking corn dog argument.
52 shows a year, basically from both companies. 52 Raws, 52 SmackDowns. Okay, that's 104 shows. Okay. Let's throw in a couple extra pay-per-views or whatever like that. Let's say 110, 100. Let's say 120 right now. Okay.
Well, that's double what they're letting John do.
Dude, to go from 300 to 120 because the people that make you your money were complaining they work too much. I wish I could say to my company, You got me working too much. I want to keep the same pay.
If that was so bad, if that was so bad, then why did your company follow up and do the same thing?
I'm saying to you is it's something to where both companies.
Okay, so where you have a company like WWE who's not allowing them to go out and get some extra reps. You have a company like AEW who has legitimate stars.
When was the last time they did a house show?
I don't give a fuck. They'll let Bryan Danielson, who's widely considered by many the greatest in-ring technician in the last 10 years, go out there with people who want to train, which from last we've heard is a very large majority of people, go out to the ring and run drills and do everything they can, have mock matches and all this stuff to get better.
We both know running drills ain't fun.
And it's not. But what I'm saying is they're doing it of their own accord. They're not getting paid for it. They're doing it to do it. House shows you got to pay for. They're not doing that in WWE. Oh, we got a gym for you down at the PLE at the Performance Center.
Well, that's the other thing to where does John Cena go down to the Performance Center because
Hold on. I'm arguing points and you're changing the fucking.
No, I'm asking you. Do you think
after Saturday night if John Cena
do you think you see him down at the Performance Center?
No.
Training?
I think he's gonna do his own thing, live his life, do his movie career, and motherfucker better give me fucking Peacemaker season 3. That's all I give a shit. All I'm saying is quit changing the subject. Every time that I make the argument that AEW is doing something positive, you're so quick to spit in their face or change the subject.
No, I only said, do you think he living in Tampa might end up in the Performance?
Okay, you're bringing up John Cena. We're talking about the fact that WWE has become a soulless body of what it used to be. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. But there's a crazy motherfucker from fucking Jacksonville who gives a shit about you as a fan, who gives a shit about me and wants to bring, because he knows if he can get to Gerard.
Well, why did that story come out that I read today? He doesn't care. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
What story?
I told you about it. Hold on. So that would
again. He's going to start talking about how they don't care about. No, everybody's got the same shot.
Let me give you the name of the person who put it out.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Phil Mushnick?
Nope.
Who's the other one that you don't like? Oh, yeah. Was it Bixenspan?
Nope.
Was it your boy Vinny Rue?
No. Hold on. I just said. If you
only got 12 minutes left in the show, I feel we're going to be waiting on him to get that done.
No.
Was it Cornette?
No, it was a woman that put it out there.
I ask again. Was it Bixenspan?
No. Oh, I say a woman. You say Bixenspan. Well, I'm seeing if I can pick it up. Hold on. I'm seeing. The I watched one and I'm like, not watched it. I read it and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Is this true? And so, of course, what did you just do that for?
I didn't do that. I don't have control of that.
Well, the hell you're not. You can have her do anything. Hold on. Of course, it's not giving me. Of course, it's not going to show me back up again.
Because it didn't happen.
Because I guarantee you, the people who put it up took it down because it
pictures or didn't happen.
No, it probably goes against the fact of.
Okay, so you're going to talk about controversial shit about Stephanie Vaquero. Well, I'm going to talk about controversial shit with fucking Becky Lynch, who made the allegation that a top talent was not letting people get over unless they fucked them. Let's just call it like I said. Unless they fucked them, they weren't getting nowhere. Yet they can't bring up who it is. They can't say anything. So now it's become a whole investigation and people are trying to figure out who it is. Here's your fucking question. Why don't you just go back to Becky Lynch and ask her? Oh, wait, she's not saying anything. Then why the fuck did you bring it up?
Well,
if you're the most untouchable woman in wrestling right now, right? You can say anything you want without fucking repercussion. Then why aren't you fucking sitting there and putting out there? If you're worried about this person being this or this person was this, everybody's about cancel culture. Why don't you cancel this motherfucker? Oh, maybe. This is speculation, right? I have to say speculation every time. Allegedly. There was nobody.
Allegedly.
There was somebody. Fucking say it. Protect those who are fucking in danger. You would think that would be the fucking. That's a home run, right?
Yeah.
or unless it didn't happen. Or unless you're someone who just wants fucking clicks and views with your fucking goofy husband talking about how he was a piece of shit to women too.
Well,
why is she beefing with Sam Roberts?
It's the worst, but yeah.
She's also bleeding.
She's trying to drum up.
It's not just her talking about it; it's other people too. Well, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Nothing.
Called out for alleged internal corruption by ex-employee. Okay.
So basically, a jaded employee saying this.
Ex-trainer Sarah Stock.
Okay.
Went after Karen Van Bieber and Director of Performance Psychology Chris Manzoni, and I know she also went after Doc Sampson again.
And Doc Sampson has a fucking look, man. You could fill a fucking paper factory with how many complaints he's got on him for shit that he didn't do.
Yeah. He also feuded with Amanda Huber.
Though the widow of fucking John Huber, the late Brody fucking Lee. Okay, what else you got?
Hold on.
I'm supposed to. You're not doing a good job of selling this to me. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying. AEW. Oh, Sarah Stock did not stop there. Accusing AEW's Amanda Huber of blocking female wrestlers' progress by limiting opportunities. Not only that, but also ensuring issues do not reach Tony Khan. It's nipped in the bud before Tony Khan gets a chance to lay eyes on them. They're not invited back. It's a kink in the chain that needs replaced. They're treated like garbage, told to go be a seat filler. Can you imagine a full-grown pro athlete celebrity sitting in the crowd at an event where you should be center stage? No, thank you.
Okay. So as far as I see, the ladies division has been pretty damn good. Yes, Stephanie Vaquera went to fucking NXT, and it worked out great for her. But is Stephanie Vaquera the one coming out and talking this shit?
Oh, no, listen, I always say it like this. Disgruntled employees are the worst employees. No. Oh, no, I've said that before myself to where.
But you brought this up. This was you.
What I'm saying, hey, whoa, what I'm saying is the fact of, okay? If that's news coming out of WWE.
No, news coming out of WWE is that Becky Lynch is saying that somebody was fucking.
No, I said, if that's news, a former writer or something like that, a trainer.
Stephanie Vaquera had to get, okay, so the worst you got coming out of AEW is Stephanie Vaquera had to get a cab.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
The worst you got coming out of WWE is there was somebody who was gatekeeping people.
Why is news that's put out over AEW and news that puts out over WWE put out on the internet in two different ways? You could have the same instance put out. One company, it's a whatever. The other company, it's, oh my gosh. Shouldn't it be done fair?
Different mediums. On one, Stephanie Vaquera had to get a cab to work.
No, take away that part of it.
Hold on.
Why? No, I'm asking you. Okay. Everybody accuses Tony Khan of being a cokehead. But because there's no proof, it's just swept under the rug. But if Triple H was a cokehead,
I'm going to say this. I've never accused Tony Khan of being a cokehead. I'm only speculating on basis of people's jokes. That he's on Adderall.
Adderall?
I myself am on Adderall, so I understand what it can do to somebody. Anyway.
No, wait a minute.
Hold on. That being
You're not mellow.
I'm pretty mellow until I deal with you. Other than that, this is the lineup you're giving me. 6 minutes left in the show. They accused them of making them be seat fillers. Oh, no, they're not letting them be top talent. Okay, well, they're not letting them do this. Well, that sucks. That's just business. They're not telling the fucking CEO of the company about their complaints and their tampons. Oh, no, big deal. Okay, great. Okay. Becky Lynch is accusing motherfuckers of gatekeeping with their dick.
I want you to think about what you just said. You're going to tell me every story ever got back to Vince?
No, I'm not saying that. That's what you're bringing up. You're saying they're not letting you.
But you're saying, hey,
you said
earlier you were yelling about Vince being the CEO, Vince being the president, Vince being the owner.
He
should have known about everything.
About the important shit.
Yeah, he should have known about everything.
He was involved in some of that shit. He was the one knocking on our fucking hotel room.
But
I don't see Tony Khan going, hey, I want to come in there and I want to spend the night with you tonight. We're going to do this together. We're going to have a wonderful time.
Hey, when some of your female talent's bigger than you, it's kind of hard to push her around.
Oh, so because Vince McMahon is a bigger guy, he can get away with that, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying is the fact of
you're not.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
No, hey, wait a minute. Listen, he is. No, he is. Listen, hey, listen. Okay. 130 pounds soaking wet man. What can he honestly do?
Wow.
I'm not party shaming.
Wow.
What can he honestly do? I think his glasses might weigh more.
Look at him over here.
You know, I'm saying his glasses might weigh more than my hat. But that's his aerodynamics that keeps him on the ground.
Don't body shame Nikki Bella. He's a mob.
Hey, what's a mob?
He's a mob. All right, leave him alone.
Oh, what's a mob?
That's what you said. That's what you said earlier. She's a mom. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, she's a mom. I thought you said
Tony's a mom. Leave him alone.
I'm just saying the fact of female.
No, you're wrong, Gerard. Look, you're wrong.
Hey, female body shaming nowadays or female shaming nowadays. Listen, I look at it like this.
I'm not saying that Nikki Bella's a whore. I'm saying she's wearing a whore's uniform.
Okay, so my question to you is this. Okay. A woman who works in a strip club,
they're dancers.
Is she automatically presumed to be a whore?
No, she's a dancer. She's an entertainer.
It's her job, right?
Yeah. So you're telling me it's Nikki Bella's job to go out there and show her pneumatic tits? Is that part of her job?
That's her job.
It is because Stephanie doesn't go out there.
My question is, how does she dress in real life?
I don't give a fuck. What
Listen,
I'm saying,
hold on. Did you just say it was Nikki
Bella's job to go out and be a whore? Is that what you just said?
You know what I have to suffer with all the time around here? I have to suffer with dealing with the Kardashians or whatever like that. Okay.
So that's your excuse. You're going to take it out on everybody else.
No,
you're saying, hold on.
Listen, I'm saying to you.
Hey, correct me if I'm.
And what I'm saying is the fact
that you know what really pisses me off with a minute and a half left to go. What really fucking got me hot about this conversation goes all the way back to the beginning. This motherfucker has yet to apologize for making me defend fucking Mushnick. This piece of shit over here with a Patriots hat has made me fucking stick up for fucking Mushnick. Of all the people in the world, it was the biggest jackasses in the world. When we talk about Mushnick, who's the other one? Bixen, Span, and fucking Meltzer. You got me defending one of the douchiest 3 reporters in the world. And you haven't yet to.
I don't have you defending him. You decided to defend him.
Because you're wrong, Gerard. You're fucking wrong.
No, you defended him on your own.
Her literal move is busting her tits out and shaking her ass, and he calls her fucking a sex pot. And you're gonna sit here.
Hey, you know what I say about that? He doesn't criticize the Dallas Cowgirls cheerleaders for doing it.
Yeah, but you know what? But the Dallas Cowgirls cheerleaders are making more than Nikki Bella to do less fucking hooking.
At least you know that the Dallas Cowgirls.
You say what you want, but the cheerleaders are making more than Nikki right now. And also,
actually, they make nothing.
No, they make. You've lost your fucking mind. That's another.
No,
no.
They get everything paid for.
I'm sorry that the Patriots cheerleaders don't make a dime, but my Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders make all the money in the world.
Oh, so not the Dallas Cowboys. You just said they're Dallas Cowgirls.
The cheerleaders are making more money.
Dallas Cowgirls.
I'm saying, look, whatever. You had me defending Mushnick. You sack of shit. You're not going to win this. We're done with the show right now. It's about to go off the air, but I leave you with this. This entire argument, this entire fucking episode of 2 hours, Gerard has talked shit, and ever since I left to go to the fucking shitter and come back, all he's done has been wrong. You're wrong about Vince. You're wrong about Nikki. You're wrong about everything else, and you let me
hey, just when you think you got the answers, dude.
All of you Marks have been listening to the Marks Podcast on YouTube.